Yeah, right.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to Bringing Healthy Back. I am Coach Maria and we have Coach Stephanie here. Woohoo! We are so excited for this episode. So your kid went back to school a while ago, right? Last week?
Friday. Yep. Last Friday.
All went back today.
Oh,
It's like freedom.
yes. Yes, girl.
But I will tell you, I'm on the football field and the soccer field, and moms are asking me the question, what do you feed your kids for lunch and breakfast? And how do you get them to eat healthy? And so today is going to be dedicated to that. Stephanie and I are going to talk to you about breakfast ideas and lunch ideas just to help you figure this whole thing out. And so I would really suggest getting your notes out and taking some notes, because we'll be talking about name brands and different things that we purchase to kind of help in the morning time make in the lunch boxes easier. So why don't we start off with breakfast? That's first in line for the day. Give me some ideas that you do for breakfast, Stephanie.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think there's many options, but there are tons of healthy options. We had a problem with getting protein in the morning. A couple of years ago, we were, cereal people. We would just eat, and it's like, you're not filled from eating cereal. So you can eat 3 bowls of cereal and not be
satisfied. Oh my gosh, I used to, on a Saturday morning when I was a kid, I used to sit and eat like a whole box of Lucky Charms.
Yes.
No problem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is the protein in the morning, for brain health and to get them through to lunch. Kids, especially as they get older, are not allowed to snack in school. So you got to have a hearty breakfast to get them through to lunch. So a lot of the things we do, we make sure there's either scrambled eggs, which I know some kids don't like eggs. So we're going to give you a bunch of different ideas for protein. Our go-tos are scrambled eggs, and Costco has chicken sausage. It's organic. It doesn't have any added sugar to it. And as he's gotten older, he's gone up a sausage. So it used to be 4, and then it was 5. Now it's 6. And he's just hungry all the time. So we try to really get his breakfast to be where he's satisfied. So, and then with that, he'll have, this is one of the brands that you're going to want to write down. It does have gluten in it. So it is not gluten-free, but it is organic. It's called Dave's Killer. They have bread, they have bagels. My son Noah loves the bagel. So this morning he had a bagel with the egg on it. So he had sometimes he'll make it into a sandwich. If they're younger, a half a bagel is probably sufficient, but because he's so hungry and growing rapidly right now, he's totally good with the whole bagel. And he'll even put some Kite Hill, write that down, cream cheese.
I just wrote it down. I was like, in case you.
Oh, you're frozen. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Kite Hill, they have a couple of different flavors. They've got chive and plain, and they have an everything flavor. But right now, at least at our local Aldi, they have Kite Hill cream cheese right now. And it's the cheapest you'll ever find it. Heinen's has it. Giant Eagle has it. It is pricey, but it is so worth it. And it's good. How about you? What do you load your kids up with breakfast?
Okay. So a couple things that I want to say too, because I had a client yesterday talk to me about her 15-year-old who she understands the importance of getting protein in the morning for energy, for concentration, just for kids. But her child does not like to eat in the morning. They actually get an upset stomach if they eat. And so one of the things that we were talking about is, I don't eat until 11 o'clock a lot of the times, sometimes even 12. It's the intermittent fasting. And I can do that and be okay because the majority of my diet, well, I would say 90%, 95 is all whole real food. And so my body likes to have that fast. It's okay. Now, if you're loading your kids up on, Lunchables and Oreos and fruit snacks and stuff, that's where a fasting problem would come into play. But if you have a child who really just does not like eating in the morning, and let's say they have an earlier lunch, some of these kids are eating lunch at 10:45, 11 o'clock. I think that it's okay for you to be okay with filling them up with some water, maybe with lemon to get their minerals in so they're not dehydrated, and being okay with letting them go if they're okay until they get to lunch. And if their lunch is going to be packed with protein and healthy stuff. So while we're talking about breakfast, let's say breakfast is when you are getting a break from your fast. That's kind of what breakfast has always meant. So whether that's 6 in the morning, 9 in the morning, or 11 o'clock for you or your child, that's very individual. And so I don't want people freaking out, telling their kids that they have to eat if their kids feel better when they're not eating in the morning. So I just want to say that up front. But what really matters is what they're eating throughout the day and the rest of the day. So, all right. So for me, there's a couple things that I do. We do eggs mostly. So I know that's a staple. It's super easy way to get protein and good fats. We will do the Jones chicken sausage from Costco as well. We purchased a pig from a farm, so it's an organic pig. So we do bacon sometimes in the morning. They have the paleo bacon at Heinen's that has no sugar in it. Be careful with bacon because it does contain sugar sometimes.
So many of them do, yes.
Yeah, so you got to be looking at ingredients and stuff. We do sometimes when I'm being nice and want to be the cool mom, we'll do Birch Blenders waffles. They actually have a waffle that's got 12 grams of protein in it. And so what we do with that is we'll do the waffles and then I will put either almond butter or peanut butter, depending on the child, and sprinkle it with some cinnamon. I don't like to do the maple syrup in the morning because it is still a lot of sugar. And so I try to say, okay, I'm giving you the waffle. They don't realize that it's like loaded with protein, but I'm giving you the waffle. So how about, you compromise, no syrup. And for the most part, they're pretty okay with that. Chia seed pudding is really good if your kids can handle the chia seed pudding. So you basically take chia seeds and a nut milk. You can put a little stevia in there if you'd like to sweeten it up, put some fresh berries on top. And I think it's like maybe even a little drop of vanilla to give it some flavor or whatever. But I think that's a great breakfast for kids because chia seeds are packed with protein. So don't discount that. Juice Plus, you can make a pudding out of their protein powder. And this has, 14 grams of protein in here. And so your kids can think they're eating pudding in the morning and it's good. And they get 14 grams of protein. So I love tricking kids like that. You think you're having something bad and it's good. And then I make the shakes that I post a lot. So I tell you what, shakes, you can hide so much goodness in them, right? So you got like hemp seeds and chia seeds and flax seeds and spinach. Lots of berries that are great for antioxidants. And I'll use water, sometimes not even use a nut milk. MCT oil I put in their shakes because MCT oil is great for brain power, especially in the morning. And then always part of breakfast is their Juice Plus. So they take their capsules in the morning and their omegas, and that's usually what we go back and forth to. I want to say yes on Kite Hill. It's a great alternative for sour cream, for cream cheese, yogurt. The only thing I will caution about if you're going to do yogurt in the morning is even in Kite Hill, there's a lot of sugar content in there, right? Yeah. So I would just be very cognizant of that and, pair it up with like a strong protein. And then the last thing I want to say is don't always feel like breakfast food has to be breakfast food, right? Like
I was gonna say that. Yeah. Have salad. Have a salad for breakfast. If you can have dinner for breakfast, you can have lunch for breakfast. Salads I just listened to a podcast on that where we have gotten into this mindset where breakfast has to be cereal, oatmeal, pancakes. which there are lots of great paleo pancake recipes. Another one I wanted to mention is egg cups, because you can prep those. And you can hide vegetables in them. So you can put spinach and peppers and onion, or, whatever they'll tolerate. But, then you can grab the egg cups out of the fridge if you've prepped a bunch for the week, and, pop them in the microwave or warm them up however you want. And they've got a bunch of protein and some veggies mixed in there. And you can even side it with a little fruit or whatever. But yeah, this whole like breakfast is cereal. Just get rid of that mindset. If they want to eat a salad for breakfast with some chicken on it, or, whatever protein you want to add in there, have at it.
Yeah. I work with a client who like hated every breakfast food that I ever suggested, just hated everything, didn't want to do it, but they like a cheeseburger and they like salmon. I said, well, then have a cheeseburger Costco has grass-fed beef patties. Mm-hmm. Grab one of those, make yourself a nice burger with guacamole, like homemade guacamole. Right. And I love it. I posted the other day on my story. I did cheeseburger. Well, not a cheeseburger. I did a burger with guacamole on top and then an egg on top of it. Oh, it was so good. So don't underestimate like the power of just switching it up and doing what works for you. There is no set mindset. The only thing that I will say is most important, especially for kids, is protein in the morning. So just make sure that you're getting some source of protein.
You can always do something like a Chomps or a Primal Kitchen meat stick too. I mean, literally whatever works for them for protein. But if they are eating and not, fasting through breakfast to lunch, protein is the key. It's key. You don't want to be giving them a bunch of sugar and food dyes and then sending them off to school and expecting them to sit still to retain the information that they're getting. Giving them real whole food to start their day is a must. It's a must. We've got to get rid of
especially the kids that are getting like lunches at school.
Yeah.
I would say like, if you are a lunch buyer and there's no way that you can make their lunch and it's just what works for you, and that's just what you're doing, please take the time to make sure that they're eating a very solid breakfast, because that makes a big difference.
Yeah. And it's, it's a behavioral thing too. If you're noticing behavioral issues at school, concentration issues, if you're getting calls from the school, from the teachers that, Billy just isn't sitting still, he can't focus, really hone in on the diet, because that's the best place to start.
Absolutely.
And what about, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Well, and before we get on to lunch, just one other thing, water. Make sure your kids are equipped with water. They have to stay hydrated in order for their brain to work properly, in order to feel good and not be sluggish and tired. So just make sure that you're sending them with water every single day. Last year when I sent my kids back the last semester, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I kept forgetting water. So this year I made sure that they have their own water bottle. It's filled up and ready to go in the morning. So that's important.
Absolutely. Because
we
make mistake hunger. And again, with concentration. So a lot of the times kids don't know they're dehydrated. They don't know what that means or what that feels like. And they'll start to feel really tired. Like, I'm just so tired. Mm-hmm. And it's like, have you chugged water lately? Yeah. So yeah.
Water. You know how like, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
How they like Windex fixed everything. So my kids are like, that's you, mom, with water. I have a headache. Well, did you drink enough water? I have sore muscles. Well, did you drink enough water? Like they say, you ask me that every single time. I'm like, 'cause it's true.
Yeah. There's a reason why.
Yes. I'm not just pulling it out of nowhere. All right, let's move on to lunches. So whenever I do my talks at schools and such, I always talk about 5 components to lunches. And I know you pretty much agree with this. You may have some more to add, but I really believe in a good protein for lunch, a good fat, a vegetable, fruit, and then something fun. Because I feel like if you are sending your kid to school with a healthy lunch, they got to have something fun, because most kids around them are eating those Lunchables and Hot Pockets and pizza rolls and all this crap. And you want your kid to be like, oh, I got something cool too. So there's lots of fun, non-inflammatory foods out there. So we'll go through all that. But do you have anything to add, or is that pretty much how you pack too?
Yeah, that's exactly how I pack. I, again, make sure he has some kind of protein, that there is a fruit, a vegetable, another big thing for us is, variety. He does not like to have the same thing 2 days in a row. So it'll go from, the vegetables, peppers to cucumbers to carrots. We really try to switch it up. So I think that keeps them so they're not bored.
Yeah.
Else
I know with my 5, they all have different likes and dislikes. And so, when I'm prepping stuff, I'll do all the things that they like first are the same. So they all like apples, they all like oranges, they all like green grape. Like there's fruits that they all like. So when I pack the fruits that they all like, different fruits every day, but I get those all packed. I get the fruits. Then I'll do the vegetables. So that one is tricky. Not all of them like the same vegetables. So then, some like cucumbers, some like carrots, some like broccoli. So some like spinach. So it's like all over the place. So that I pack separately. Usually the fun thing everybody likes. So I'll pack that all the same. And then their main meal is so different for each kid for me, because I have some kids that are very picky. I have other kids who need to gain weight, and I've got other kids who are pretty cool with just eating anything. So, but to organize my thoughts, I just kind of lay it out on the counter, and I just get all the things that are the same first, just to kind of save me. And then I go into the things that are different. So, obviously fruits and vegetables are going to be like having a conversation with your kids with the list of fruits and vegetables. Which ones are your favorites? Which ones are you willing to try? And then you can kind of build those. Those are easy to me. I think fruits and vegetables are easy, right?
Yeah.
What about some good sources of protein that are easy to pack? What do you like?
So we do a lunch meat from Aldi. It's organic. There's no additives in it. There's no sugar added to it. There's no dyes in it or anything like that. It's their organic brand, the Simple Mills organic brand. So, I think it is just the one turkey though, that once you get into like the maple ham and all that stuff, that's got sugar added to it. So I kind of try to stick to the turkey one. And then he still eats peanut butter. So we do peanut butter with a jam that has no sugar added to it, and some Dave's Killer bread. That's basically what we alter. And then other times he'll do salads with chicken.
Okay. So we do, my one son is a peanut butter and honey freak, has been since he was 5 years old. That's all he eats. And he doesn't care eating it every day. He's totally fine. So we do the organic peanut butter from Costco with the honey, Dave's Killer bread for him pretty much every single day. He's super easy. My child who's trying to gain weight, we will do in a thermos, like a thing that keeps it hot, organic brown rice. The steak, grass-fed steak that they have at Costco, it's already sliced. And so I just cut it up and mix it in with the rice. And then I'll add Kerrygold butter to it. And then I add some sort of vegetable. So either broccoli or spinach, typically I'll add to that. And then I mix it up in a pan, and then I put it in the container that keeps it nice and warm for him. And then the other kids, we do Applegate turkey is usually what I use if I'm making a turkey sandwich. I'll do egg salad sandwiches, in that you can prepare, way ahead of time if you want. What else have I done for them that they like? Oh, you can make your own Lunchables. So I get these from Costco. I know Chomps is good too, but these little ones, and you can do your own Lunchables with like a beef stick, a couple of beef sticks, chop them up a little bit. You can do organic cheese if you're doing dairy. And, you can make, it doesn't have to be like a meal. Like you could have a ton of things that the kids are picking from, as long as they're getting their nutrition. Salads are really good for my kids that are not super picky. And then at Heinen's, I don't have it with me. I usually have like a little picture of it I can show you, but it is Perdue chicken strips. They are gluten-free and organic. And I will heat them up in the morning, and then I put them in between Dave's Killer bread. And then I put some mayonnaise, the avocado mayonnaise, and then some pickles, the good pickles. Because pickles you got to watch out for. They actually put food dyes in pickles and sugar, nasty. So there's good pickles that they have. And then I'll make like a chicken fried sandwich, and they love it. That's like one of their favorite lunches. And so, yeah, so there's a variety. I mean, you can do a lot once you start. But those chicken tenders are my favorite for them for that. And, you can, if you get one of those thermoses, you can either do soups in there, but think out of the box. You can also do rice and put a meat in there. You can do
stir fry. You could do leftovers in a thermos, heat it up in the morning and get it in some kind of thermal container to keep it at least somewhat warm. It's not going to be maybe piping hot by the time they get to lunch, but it'll be warm.
Yeah.
And the sky's the limit. You could do stir fries with veggies, cauliflower rice, with a protein, regular rice with a protein and veggies, or anything that you've made for dinner the night before.
Yeah.
But then they're still getting the real whole foods that are going to feed their gut immunity and their
brain, give them some brain power. And I like Primal Kitchen Ranch for salad dressings. Those are all very safe. And
I put those on his sandwiches too. I put them on his turkey sandwiches.
That's a good idea. Give it some flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about your fun stuff? What do you like to put in for fun?
Okay. So, just recently on Thrive, I got some Hu chocolate covered cashews. I try to incorporate nuts into his lunch, as much as possible. And I mix that up every day too. I'm trying to get him a variety of nutrients with the nuts. So Hu has the chocolate covered cashews. They have grain-free cookie bites at Aldi, that he loves. They've got a couple different varieties for that. So I really I'll put some, I'll take the Hu gems and a handful of nuts and make it kind of like a, mini trail mix type thing. Just so he's got something a little bit sweet or fun, different variety of stuff. Yeah. And then of course his Juice Plus gummies, but he has a tendency to take those mostly in the morning with his breakfast. So, I haven't been packing those as much.
Yeah. These are great and then your kids kind of feel like they're getting, gummies at school, and you're really feeding them 31 different fruits, vegetables, and berries. So it's great. It's a win-win.
How about you? Some of the treats you like to pack?
So I like Boulder Canyon chips. They make their potato chips with avocado oil instead of an inflammatory oil. So I like those for my kids who like something crunchy. And they recently came out with a sour cream and cheddar. So the ingredients are not like the best, but they're much better than sour cream and cheddar Lay's chips. So my kids that like those, I'll buy those for. Siete chips. And then I typically will pair it up with the organic hummus from Costco or the organic guacamole for Costco, because those are easy to throw in there and then they can dip. I also like, if I pack carrots, I will pack that, or I'll pack a Primal Kitchen Ranch in there for them to dip the carrots. So the chips from Siete, the chips from Boulder Canyon. Today I packed them a little square of Hu chocolate. So Hu chocolate, just a little square is enough to get their little sugar fix in. The Juice Plus gummies are great for, even if they take their capsules in the morning, I will still throw in the gummies sometimes into their lunch, because it's a sweet treat and you can't have too many fruits and vegetables. So I figure it's not hurting them. So I'll throw those in at a time. I do Purely Elizabeth granola. I love to throw that in there because it does have a sweet, fix to it. So and I pull out the big chunks because, sometimes it can get, so
all the chunks are so good.
Yes. It's like, oh, I got a big one.
Yeah.
So I'll put those in there. These I will stick in there for something fun. Simple Mills crackers I'll put in there, and then put a dip in there for them to dip those with. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. Those are kind of the fun things. And if I see something at the store, like the grain-free crackers, Hu Chocolate makes some, or Hue Kitchen, I should say, makes some. And so does Siete. They make some really good little cookies. So if I see it at the store, I'll pick it up and switch it. I try to make the fun thing different all the time for them. So it's kind of like where we test it. Do they like it? Does it come back in the lunch? And they're like, that's gross.
One other thing, they didn't have them at Costco the last time I went, but they're yo-yo fruit rolls.
Oh yeah.
They're just like a fruit roll up. So if your kids are into fruit roll ups, which are complete junk, that's a great swap.
Yeah.
They do have, I don't know where else they have them.
I've seen them at Fresh Time.
Okay.
But the other
Probably
thing
Whole
they have at Costco is the Pure. It's called Pure, Pure, and it's just a strip, fruit strip, and that has the same ingredients as the yo-yos. It's just not rolled up, so it's just a strip. But those two are my favorite. That's a great one. I forgot about that.
Those are really good. I gotta find some because he was just asking about them. One thing I wanted to mention too, with the jam and jelly is to check your ingredients. That you almost cannot find. There's very, very few that don't have added sugars. A lot of the times high fructose corn syrup or possibly food dyes. I get ours off of Thrive Market, which is an online shopping, and there is a membership to that, but it's well worth it. And Whole Foods also has I think it's called Bio Nature. Every other jam, jelly I have ever seen has some kind of added sugar in it, even if it's organic, even if it's local. They all add sugar, and I know it's difficult to find jams and jellies that are healthy, but just do
and
the
I
best.
know sometimes the cost can be a deterrent for some people because they are more expensive, which blows me away. It's like, I don't get it, but it's super simple to make at home too. I've made blueberry jam, strawberry jam, very easy, especially if you have a Vitamix. You just, add the fruit, clean it all off really good, remove the stems, and then you can use a beef gelatin in there with some water, purified water, and blend it in the Vitamix, and it becomes a jelly, and you can just stick it in your refrigerator and use it all week. So if cost is a variant, I have that recipe. You can reach out to me and I can give it to you, but that's super easy too. You can even add a little bit of maple syrup to it if you want to flavor it, or some stevia. If you don't want to have the sugar content, and have a really good jam, and it's a lot cheaper and it's not that hard at all. So yeah. Anything else?
Let's see.
I will say that I try to do it every day. If it's a crazy morning, I don't, but during the school year, I try every day to take a picture of our lunch, and I tag everything that I'm putting in the lunch so that you can kind of get ideas, and you can pick from all the lunches throughout the year that I do and just kind of recreate your own picking and choosing. So I do that on my Instagram, which is swap_it_healthy. And I put it in my stories. I don't actually post it on the account, but it's in my stories. So that could help some people too, because sometimes visually you want to see it.
That's what helped me in the beginning. I had problems with overhauling breakfast and lunch, especially breakfast. We had a hard time with the breakfast stuff. But yeah, your pictures really helped, because then it's like, okay, these are the components that I need to make sure that he has.
Yeah. And that lunch box that I have, it's a lunch bot. You can get it on Amazon. And I love it because it already has 5 spaces. So I just visually know I've got to fill up these 5 spaces. What do I got to fill them up with? I need a protein. I need a vegetable. I need a fruit. So it just helps me visually to go, okay, this is simple. This is where everything goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. That's great.
Anything else? You good? Got it all?
I think I got it all. Yeah. Everything no, real quick. Actually, this could be breakfast or lunch. I know this is a huge favorite for kids, is Nutella, but I'm sorry to tell you, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, which it seems like we are a lot. There's actually 2 things I want to back up for breakfast. But like I said, we said earlier, stop labeling your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just eat what's healthy. If it's you can have a dinner food for lunch and a lunch food for breakfast and interchange them all. But Nutella is a huge kid favorite, and it's bad. It's real bad. The ingredients are
Nasty.
are gut killers. So another thing you can make at home that will probably end up being cheaper is a good homemade Nutella. There's like 3 ingredients in it, and you can just make it in your blender. I make it in the Vitamix, and it is delicious. So if your kids like spreading Nutella on waffles or whatever it is,
That'd be a good one to put on the Birch Bender's waffles.
yeah, so
how do you
that's
make
what we
it?
do. We get the paleo Birch Bender waffles. We don't get the protein ones. We haven't tried them yet, I should say. It's not that we purposely don't buy them. I just haven't tried them yet. But I also just want to give a shout out to Pinterest, because I just went on there and found a pin for 65 paleo kids breakfasts.
Wow.
65. It's like the sky's the limit. And one of the things that was on there too is muffins, like paleo banana blueberry muffins. I mean, they've got pancakes and donuts. And again, you need to really focus on the protein, but you can find ways to give your kids the things they love in a healthy manner, and then say, yes, you can have this homemade donut, and I'm going to make some eggs for, to go with it.
Yep.
And the donut's, this big instead of this big.
And not deep fried in nasty oil.
Right, exactly. It's like home baked. So yeah, just, Pinterest everything. I'm sure they have the same thing for kids' lunches, paleo lunches, and kids' paleo dinners. I saw that stuff too. So
how do you make that Nutella? What are the 3 ingredients?
So it's hazelnuts, cocoa, and I think just a smidge of maple syrup.
That's awesome.
That's it.
And was that on Pinterest? Can people look it up on Pinterest?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of ideas here. Hopefully you guys all took notes and wrote stuff down. But if this didn't help you fully and you still need more help, reach out to Stephanie or I. I already gave you mine, swap_it_healthy on Instagram. And Stephanie, you are?
Steph Maniak.
Okay. So look us up on Instagram. Message us, and please subscribe and share this episode. If it helped you, it will help somebody else. And we just have to keep spreading the word. Health is not that hard to do. We can do this, especially if we stick together. So
yes, absolutely.
Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you.